Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to be doing my skincare today because though you wouldn't be able to tell, I have been slacking. My skin looks great, which is like really frustrating because I literally have not done it in like a week. As a couple of you know, due to my community post, I did go in for surgery recently, medically necessary, but everything turned out great. And so now I'm really excited to be kind of getting back on the grind. I definitely could have done my skincare sooner than starting back a couple days ago, but I didn't feel like it. So I didn't, and now I literally only have like one tiny breakout right here, and that's like kind of it, and the rest of my skin feels pretty good. So yeah, without further ado, this is my skin with nothing on it except the like casual standard nighttime grease, I guess. This is so relaxing. Great job. I'm so excited doing this. I tend to start with just a micellar water. I do have a toner as well, but I've got a lot of products that I use. So usually the toner is just micellar water, and I use it on a cotton pad to just kind of like wipe away any dirt or dust or anything on the face. I know that you can totally apply it to your face and there's benefits like leaving it on the skin as well, but I just like to get everything off with it. And I tend to do this before cleanser. I don't know if that's the right idea or not. I got all the bubbles up, I'm sorry. I shook it away from you. I don't know why I did that. But I do it before cleanser because in my mind, I don't want to rub the dirt and dust around on my face with the cleanser. I'd prefer it just be off. And I used the pink one. I just had to get a new bottle because it was like the one thing that I actually did feel like I could do while I was, oh god, the forehead is out. She is out and proud. But it was like the one thing I felt like I could do and felt nice, and I wasn't worried about like what happens if I get it in my eye or anything like that. Just a low risk product. So I ran out. But I'm excited because I had the wrong one. I didn't have the pink one. I thought I looked and found the best one, and apparently I didn't. I had like the green one. And I know the pink one is supposed to be the best, I think. And it's unscented and vegan, of course. I am not vegan, but I do, especially when it comes to like skin products, I try and veer that direction to the best of my ability. So there are definitely some products here that are not vegan, but I try my best. Just because I feel like there's not much point to not being. So that is a little bit of a cleanse with the micellar water. There's a little bit of discoloration on the pad that you can see, just dirt, dust, like old makeup residue, all of that stuff. And now we have my cleanser. So I know normally people do this in their bathroom, but the lighting is awful in my bathroom and it's very, very small. So I have a spray bottle. So this is either gonna go really, really bad we're pretty okay. That was pretty okay. Did you get wet? No, okay, we're good. For a facial cleanser, there's a bunch of stuff on it. I just use the CeraVe, I think, which makes me very upset because obviously it should be CeraVe. It's foaming action with niacinamide, fragrance free, of course. And this is the oil control foaming facial cleanser for normal to oily skin. This is not vegan, actually, which is interesting. So I just get a little bit of that. I'm going to try and avoid putting it on my hands because I have this nice little scrubby. I guess I should get wet first. Genuinely, a big barrier for me with skincare was that I really didn't like stuff touching like on my hands and stuff like that. So finding like tools and like these little things to make sure that it doesn't like drip down my arm and get to my elbow and my clothes and all that stuff was a big deal. And this is just a little face scrubby. It does a pretty good job. Also, as you are about to see very quickly, I have hyperpigmentation, so my skin, especially around my cheeks, gets really red. It's totally fine. It just does that. I cannot wait to clean this up from the carpet later. There we go. This was originally warm. Oh, it's still a little warm. Okay, good stuff. And again, normally properly washing your face off in the sink is probably the best avenue for this. And I do always kind of focus on the eyes a little bit because I hate getting soap in my eyes. And that would especially suck right now as well. So just making sure that there's nothing there in particular. Because we're about to add more stuff. So if we make the face a little more slippery, I want to make sure nothing can slide into my eyes. Awesome. And then I'm going to wipe off the scrubby and I'll put everything properly like in the sink later. we go. Clean, scrubby, clean face. Okay, so now that my skin is properly red as all get out, I want to make sure we're at least mostly dry. I am, both with hair and with face stuff, a big fan of just letting stuff air dry. Though I do have a fan to speed up the face drying stuff because sometimes that takes forever. Okay, so this is what we're working with. It's freshly cleaned. It's always makes my skin look a little shiny, which I think is kind of funny. Just because it's supposed to be for oily skin. So next up, after washing, we get into the actual like products zone, and I am really quickly gonna fix my headband because there's a couple baby hairs escaping. So I recently have kind of had a revamp of my skincare. I was one of those kids who, like, growing up, their parents put them on like Proactiv and stuff like that. So for a lot of my life, I was just using that because I had really bad acne. Turns out, mainly stress. But now I finally have like a pretty, in my opinion, well-tailored skincare routine. So we start this. I keep purchasing in the small version because I can take it with me if I travel, and I really don't go through this very fast. They have a big version. I like the small one. I don't know why. This is the Paula's Choice 2% BHA liquid exfoliant with salicylic acid. And it is a leave-on exfoliant, which to a lot of people may sound a little scary. And it kind of is, but it's not. It's for all skin types, and it is big into unclogging and shrinking enlarged pores and smoothing and evening your skin tone. And it's like just liquid. So I start by putting this on. I try to go in like order of most liquidy first. So it just comes in this little thing, and you just shake out as much as you need. Kind of just a couple drops. And then we apply. I also always apply with my hands. I feel like there's no better way, truly. And that anyone trying to sell you on like some other way is a liar. Though I feel the same way about makeup. I know this was something that is like debated a lot, especially in that section, just because people think that it's unclean. But I feel like truly a lot of times with makeup, the best application you'll get will be with your hands. So with this product, I mainly am using it to clear acne, keep my skin clean, and reduce pores. And I do feel like it actually does a pretty solid job. It's not anything that like it was. I started using it with a second product as well, and with the two of these, I've noticed a really good difference. So I'm not sure which one to account it to, but yeah, so that's that little guy. And next up, I have 3 are vegan friendly. That's wild. Anyway, if anyone has any like good equivalents that are, I would definitely be willing to look into that. So, this is the Ordinary azelaic acid suspension. It's 10%. This is the only size they have, so I'm not being cheap and buying a small version of this one as well. This is it. And this is really, really good for hyperpigmentation and rosacea. So I use this focusing on my cheeks, as we just saw firsthand. And I wouldn't, for the record, I wouldn't mind if it was like, oh, my cheeks just get really red when I wash my face. But it's like with everything, they get really red. So I use a little bit of this kind of here, just to ideally help with that. And I do actually, I've noticed with the two products combined, there has been some good movement. My face is a lot less like red when I'm not doing anything to it, which is awesome. Because that used to be the thing, was that I was like wearing a ton of makeup because my skin was constantly like red. So yeah. Try to do outward motions. Definitely don't always do outward motions. But that's the next product. And then after that, I do have my tried and true. I love this product. This is my water-based moisturizer. So this is one of those things that's like really, really, really amazing if you have oily skin and hate most moisturizers. So if you are looking for a moisturizer and struggling, I'd super recommend this one. It also comes with stickers, so you get to like decorate the bottle, which I think is so cute. I need to buy another one. And this is available. It's a Korean product, so you know it's amazing. And you can find it on Amazon, and it's like not super expensive compared to most moisturizers. But yeah, vegan and cruelty free, and it is the Lotus Water Cream. I love this moisturizer. I had a really, really hard time finding a moisturizer I liked for forever, so I just like wouldn't wear one because I was so frustrated. So this was a big deal for me. And it is one of those ones that kind of just melts down. You can see like what was left on my hand is just... So, a little definitely goes a long way. It is a more watery product, obviously, because it's water-based. So, you kind of gotta work with it quick, or it starts melting. But yeah, I've been using for, I want to say, a couple of years now. This was like the big thing I grabbed before the acids that I started adding to my face. So this was like my big first step in the right direction for skincare. I would really, really, really recommend it, especially if you hate a lot of moisturizers. It's definitely the way to go. And it's vegan and cruelty free. So like, it's one of those things that I think is probably going to be in my rotation forever until until I get to the point where if I need something more moisturizing or something like that, then we can switch. So next up, I have this product that I tend to use when I'm going outside, and it is an SPF 50 with antioxidants and soothing plant extracts. It's minimizes the appearance of pores and helps prevent UV damage. It's another Paula's Choice, which is really good. It is a daytime moisturizing, like, sunscreen. Now, to be fair, when I am going outside, like, actively, I also use this sunscreen. It's weird. We'll talk about this after. I'm going to use this one first. But this product is kind of strange. I like it, but it's like straight up liquid, which is kind of weird for a sunscreen. Obviously, I am not like 60 years old and can attest to like how much sun damage wise this has been doing to me yet. Or not doing, but helping. So I use it, but because it is so light, it makes me nervous about whether or not it is actually like protecting a bunch. It is SPF 50, which is better than the other sunscreen that I put on top. But yeah, I always just try and double up on sunscreen because I have trust issues. For lack of a better way to explain it. But yeah, I did a bunch of research into like where to go skincare wise, because I really wanted to get stuff that was actively like treating issues instead of just treating acne. And I feel like it's been a pretty successful run. I really do enjoy the Paula's Choice brand, but because it isn't vegan and cruelty free, it's one of those things where I'm like kind of still in the market. Definitely in love with my moisturizer. Never want to change that ever, but yeah. Okay. So that's sunscreen 1. And then with the other sunscreen, this is the one that I use if I am like actively planning on going outside. Just on top, I tend to use this kind of no matter what, just because it is like moisturizing anyway. And these two came in a set. So first I bought this on its own, and I'm finishing that off right now. And then I wanted to try this in a mini. I always try in minis first, especially if it's something like an acid. Always try in minis first, because it might make your skin hate you. And I'd always prefer to swallow a $16 cost than a $35 cost. But I bought this on its own, thought it was really good, and was like, okay, I want to start trying more of their stuff. And then this and this were sold in a pack together, and I was like, well, let's just do that. I'll live off the little ones. I like the little ones. So, this. Now this is a tinted moisturizer, so it is slightly skin tone. I am pale as heck, and it is a little darker than the shade that I would prefer, but this does prevent it leaving a white cast. So I did just recommend it to one of my friends that has much tanner skin than I do, to give it a shot, because they could not find one without a white cast. It's 30 FPS SPF. Did I say FPS? 30 frames a second. Mineral tinted sunscreen, face lotion, broad spectrum, with zinc oxide and titanium dioxide, and it's water resistant, so it can stand for like 40 minutes in water. Fragrance free, hypoallergenic, vegan. Also has no parabens in it, no gluten, and no oxybenzone. Yeah. I love a medicated sunscreen. I feel like a lot of times when you're just grabbing like a kind of a whatever sunscreen and putting it on your face, it can kind of mess with what you've already got going on there. It totally would make me break out whenever I used a normal sunscreen just on my face. So something like this is like really good. And yeah, it can 40 minutes after swimming or sweating, which is really nice. This product is weird. I'm not going to put it on now because I am not going outside today. But it's like weird. I'm putting a little dollop on my hand. This is what it looks like. And it's just kind of like a mousse. It does not go on like any other sunscreen I've ever seen in my life. It's very dry. Like, can you hear? That is me rubbing the product into my hand. So, yeah, that is, I love the sunscreen, but it is a weird product, and I need to let you know ahead of time before I can recommend it, because I feel like if you're one of those people that's like, oh yeah, I kind of like the sticky feeling of sunscreen, you will not like this. Yeah. So, that's the tint. Difficult to see, but easier when I put my hand like that. It does work really nice on people like me with the redness, because it does just kind of lap over everything and make it look nice. But we're being an inside person today, so we're not going to be doubling up on the sunscreen. And then I always finish off. I saw, oh my god, I just totally rubbed it in the sunscreen. That was such a bad idea. Why did I do that? The, like, Lancome, I think. Oh god, I might be pulling out the wrong one. No, Laneige? Something like that. I saw their, like, pot of, chapstick, basically, the lip mask, and I wanted to use that really bad, but it was so expensive, and I, like, could not justify spending $30 on a chapstick. So, I was looking around for a dupe, and I found this. It is the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Lip Mask. And I love it. Genuinely, this is what, when you go through surgery, a lot of times you can't eat for like, or drink after midnight the day before, which really sucks if you have a surgery scheduled late in the day. This little guy got me through not being able to consume water, because of course my lips immediately are super chapped and all of that stuff. It's so nice. I have not used the like more viral Laneige one, but I have to assume that it's kind of like this. It is blue as well, which is kind of fun. But this one is so good. I just use it as a normal, like, well, relatively normal chapstick. This is not a purse chapstick kind of thing, but I have it sitting at my desk to use like while I'm home and before I go to bed and all of that sort of stuff. And I like to use a lot of it because I'm crazy. And it feels nice and it stays put. So whenever I just need like a really solid boost, so waking up in the morning, anything like that, where I'm like, I am chapped. They're so good for that. Alrighty. So with that, that is my last step in my skincare, and we are left with super shiny, nicely moisturized, relatively sun protected skin. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you so much for your patience in the release of this video. I know I was a little late with it. Just one of those things where I needed a little extra time to feel ready. I was a little nervous. Just a little bit. So thank you so much. And I will see you all next week. And I think I already have planned the video we're doing for then. So it should be on time. Oh wait, maybe not. Yeah, it might be another Wednesday release. We'll figure it out. But thank you guys very much, and